Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live in. Last night, the defending world champion Golden State Warriors fell in game one of their opening round series to the Sacramento Kings. Klay Thompson had a solid performance, 21 points, I believe 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Not quite enough, though, as the Kings went up 1-0. But Klay Thompson has been a vital member of 4 Golden State championship teams. Some could argue he's the best shooter of all time, if not for his Splash Brothers teammate, Steph Curry. Well, Adrian Wojnarowski, famous for his Woj bombs, had this to say during ESPN's broadcast last night. Let's take a listen. This via Clutch Points Twitter.
The contractual situation for Klay Thompson going forward.
Hey, Greeny, there's a tremendous amount at stake for this Golden State Warriors organization in these Western Conference playoffs, and starting in this series against the Sacramento Kings, and especially with Klay Thompson, who I'm told has an expectation that he would be rewarded with a new max-level contract extension this offseason. He's got a year left on his deal at $43 million. Next year, he's come back this year. Certainly helped the team to a championship last year. Had a historic offensive season this season. Just the third player ever to have 300 three-pointers in a season. But this is an inflection point now for the Golden State organization with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and then Draymond Green, who could opt into his deal at $27 million. Warriors could be facing a payroll and luxury tax over $500 million. Remains to be seen whether Joe Lacob is going to pay that.
So over $500 million could be facing payroll and luxury tax of. That's Steve Cohen Mets money right there. Yeah, well, Joe Lacob, who has had the Warriors as one of the highest salaries in the league for much of the past decade, hasn't been afraid to spend the money to keep them as one of the league's best teams. But is $500 million too much for him to pay the team? Klay Thompson last season, 21.9 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, 2.4 assists. This was after missing both the 2019-20, 2020-21 seasons with injury. Missed half of last season, so 2.5 years of injuries. But solid season again this year. 41.2% from deep, which is right around his career average. Turned 33 on February 8th, so got one more year left on his deal. Will be 34 when this year's contract ends. If we take a look at his advanced metrics, they weren't quite super fond of him this season. So his PER was 14.7, which was his lowest since his third season of 2013-14. Win shares 3.1 total. That's his lowest since his rookie season, not including last season where, again, he played just half the season. But I will say he's a guy who, PER's not always going to encapsulate everything he does on the court. But again, he's not quite the defensive presence he was earlier in his career. Again, 34 years old. Warriors have a huge question on what they'll do with Draymond Green if he doesn't opt into his $27 million player option. They also, Dante DiVincenzo, I believe, is a $4.5 million player option, which he will in all likelihood decline. So what do you think? Should the Warriors pay who will be 34-year-old Klay Thompson a max deal? I'm on the fence about it because in a way, the Warriors are forever indebted to Klay Thompson. Again, a key pivotal member of 4 championship teams. But at the same time, he was just in a max deal, and they paid him max money. 2.5 years of him not being able to see the court. So, there would be other contingency of people who believe, that he, should give back to the club and not ask for a max deal. But it's going to be a tricky situation. The Warriors going to be tough to keep the core together without spending a boatload of money. And, they're going to continue to age. Of course, him, Curry, and Green are still very relevant players in this league. But as they continue to get older, will Golden State still be one of the top teams in the league? But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.